In Ukraine, the fighting continues to intensify as government troops gain ground against pro-Russian separatists. Clashes broke out in the Luhansk region Tuesday, and military forces captured most of a town near the rebel stronghold of Donetsk. CCTV's Kate Parkinson is there now. And Kate, what can you tell us?
Well, yes, the fighting in eastern Ukraine continues to escalate. Just about 15 minutes ago, we heard a large explosion and there was a huge plume of smoke lighting up the sky with an orange cloud just over my shoulder. That's gone now, but the shelling is certainly expected to continue. We've been hearing, as you said, of big fights in the Luhansk city. That's the other rebel stronghold. According to the Ukrainian military, they're now inside the city. That city's been in rebel hands for months now, so this is being seen as a big gain by Kiev's forces. They say they've already liberated part of the city and they're now engaged in street fights with the pro-Russian rebels to try and reclaim the rest of the city. The Interior Minister told the Ukrainian Interfax news agency that they're retaking the city block by block. Now, we've seen a press statement from the Luhansk municipality that paints a pretty bleak picture. They say heavy shelling overnight has seriously damaged the city centre, and they said that civilians have been killed and injured in the recent fighting. Now, here in Donetsk, the fighting is not as close to the city centre. The Ukrainian armed forces have reclaimed a key town that's about 50 kilometers east of Donetsk. That's been the scene of fierce fighting for the past few days. They say they are now in control of that town, but they're certainly nowhere near as close to the city centre as they are to Luhansk city. The shelling that we hear is mainly on the outskirts. We hear incoming and outgoing artillery throughout the day and throughout the night. It's clear that the battle for Donetsk is well and truly underway.
And Kate, the Kremlin announced the Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko later this month. What can we expect from that meeting?
Well, yes, Putin and Poroshenko will meet for the first time in around 2 months. That meeting will take place next week in Minsk. It'll be also attended by officials from the European Union. Certainly, Moscow is increasing pressure on Kiev to stop its assault on the rebel strongholds, and that's because they say of the deteriorating humanitarian situation on the ground. It is unlikely that Kiev is going to agree to that. I just can't see President Poroshenko saying a ceasefire is an option. Certainly, Ukrainian armed forces have the upper hand at the moment, and Kiev will be concerned that if they agree to a ceasefire, it will give the rebels time to regroup, rearm, and re-attack.
All right, CCTV's Kate Parkinson reporting live from Donetsk.